Hello, my name is Sendo, and welcome to my TED Talk. Today I'm gonna talk about not a manga haul, but a series that I have been reading lately, and it's become one of my favorite series right now. And I wouldn't be surprised if it became one of my top series of all time. And that series is something that most people have heard of, Black Clover. The first time I gave this series a chance was through the anime, and I just felt like the anime had such a slow pace that it bored me, and I thought it was just a bad series overall. And then for some reason, I kept hearing all the hype about this series, and I was like, you know what? I gotta try the manga. Maybe the manga will fits the pacing. Maybe the manga has something else. And one of the things that I noticed is that yes, the pacing is a lot better. Um, there were a lot of things in the first three, four, or five episodes that I watched of Black Clover where the manga just went through it really quick, and I really like that because it's not that the series is rushed, but just the pacing of the story. It doesn't give you this feeling of being bored, and you just want to move on to the next part. And another thing is the art itself is just great, and I think the animation for the anime, maybe they had a low budget, but I think it doesn't do it justice. Just judging it from the first five episodes that I saw, so that's why I'm really liking the series. Well, one of the reasons I really like it is because it does remind me of one of my favorite series that I saw way back, which is Naruto. Naruto, and I think that the author, the mangaka, was able to take all of the good of Naruto and repackage it in a way where it still feels fresh and enjoyable. Um, so I'm not every time I'm reminded of Naruto, I'm not hating. I'm not saying, "Oh, this is just a copycat." I think he was able to grab it and make it its own, and I think I like it also is because I am hoping that he will be able to improve Naruto in the things that Naruto itself did wrong. Sometimes there was some slow pacing. Sometimes the series was lasting too long. I remember the Ninja War arc. I was just bored because I was like, oh, at this point, the series is too long by now. And all of the plot holes that Naruto had, I think it kind of took away from the series, and that's why I was not that interested by the end of it. But there's a lot of similarities. There's two guys, orphan guys, who there's a mystery of why they're orphans. You don't hear about their parents much, and I'm sure we're gonna hear about it later in the story. But you have the main character. I think his name is Asda or something like that. He lives in a world where most people have power, or at least most warriors, but he doesn't have magic. Everybody has magic except him. But he has this dream of becoming Hokage. I mean the king of this country, the Magic King. I forgot what that is called. The Wizard King, but he doesn't have any magic. But he has this attitude like Naruto that of never giving up on his dream. So he continues to train, and all he can do for training is working out and straining his body. Eventually, he gets this so-called power of conjuring this sword and another one that can cancel out magic. So all of the people that he fights, he's able to fight all this magic with this sword that just cancels out the magic. It doesn't mean that the fights are easy for him. They're actually pretty hard, and he relies on on all of his friends to help him to defeat all of these bad guys. But the fact that he has this attitude, he's able to inspire all of his team into becoming better and trusting him. And all of that is just reminding me of Naruto and all that stuff. I guess this will be the Sasuke guy, but he's cool. They get along, and they're friends, but they're in a way they're rivals because they both want to become the Wizard King at some point. But he's the gifted one. He has all the cool magic. He's just getting stronger, and in a way he's still getting stronger too, but by fighting people with the swords that he has and making the best of it. Uh, the world is pretty interesting. I think it's just the way he's telling the world about the country and the rest of the countries that are are next to it. I think they're eventually going to talk about how the country was created. I have a feeling that it was created out of something wrong. People were probably killed and stuff like that. So once we find out more about the history, we'll be able to understand more about the bad guys who are trying to destroy the country. There's a bunch of bad guys, and they have this revenge against this country because it feels like they were killed or their tribes were killed or something just to take over this land. Who knows? I'm pretty sure that's gonna get all connected with the full story, which is just makes it interesting. I mean, I'm liking the story, the build up of the world, the the groups of the magicians that work for the king. The enemies themselves are interesting. Uh, all the characters are pretty interesting. I like that he's very strong at creating woman characters that are very peculiar but interesting, and you just want to know more about them. I feel like that's what was one of the flaws in Naruto. The girl characters were kind of annoying at times. Um, so yeah, I mean, I read the first 10 volumes of this series, and I'm liking it. I'm enjoying it. My next manga house probably gonna be the next 10 volumes of the series, up to volume 20. I think there's like 28 volumes out so far, and it's just good. It's great. Let me open a few pages so you can see. I don't want to start from probably chapter 1. It's just cool art. And I'm liking this because I think that a lot of series, especially this one, are able to take what was great about the big three and build upon that and make it better. And that's the thing about manga. As the years pass by, people are able to make the stories better, and that's why it's kind of hard for me to go back too far back into the 70s and 80s and read manga because some of that stuff, especially shonen, is not as complex as the series right now because they're very simple. Sometimes they're simple and enjoyable, but sometimes they're simple and boring. But anyways, guys, if you have not read Black Clover, I really suggest that you give it a chance. It's one of my favorite series right now. If you have any suggestions about what I should read after this, based on what I like, let me know. And if you like Black Clover, I would like to hear your thoughts on it. Thank you for watching.